From the heart of the unknown author, Rodney Hamright, comes the Adom series. Welcome to the chaos. In the chaos, you will meet a lively and loving family from Africa who have recently moved to a new city in the US. The parents Kwabena and Ama are struggling to keep control of their 3 imaginative children. The children's powers are unusual. Whatever they imagine comes to life. This leads to mayhem and hilarity in the Adom household on a daily basis. Get your copy today at Amazon.com or download at Audible and iTunes or listen on Apple Podcasts.
Chapter 1. The sun beats down on my face as I step out of our rickety old van, shielding my eyes with one hand while clutching a box-labeled kitchen in the other. Our new home stands before us, looking like it could use a fresh coat of paint and some tender loving care. But to us, it's perfect. "Ah, we're finally here!" I exclaim, turning to see Kwabena, my tall, dark-skinned husband, wrestling with an overstuffed suitcase. He grunts in response, his signature warm smile never leaving his face. As he drags the luggage toward the house, I can't help but giggle at the sight. "Come along, children!" Ama calls out, her petite frame somehow managing to carry 2 children and a box full of who knows what. Coffee, our eldest, eagerly hops out of the van, following his father with determination in his eyes and a backpack almost as big as him strapped to his back. Akosia, our middle child and resident smarty pants, leaps out next, her curly hair bouncing as she giggles at the chaos unfolding around her. Finally, little Yaw tumbles out of the van, his energy practically radiating off him like a mini sun. You'd think he was fueled by pure sugar. "All right, Adom family, let's get moving!" Kwabena announces, as we all scurry to grab as many boxes and bags as possible. It's like a comical relay race, each of us taking turns stumbling over misplaced items and narrowly avoiding collisions with one another. "Watch out for the chickens!" Akosia shouts, her creative mind bringing the farm animals from our old village into the mix. Yaw, ever the mischievous one, mimics the sound of a goat, causing Coffee to nearly drop a box of dishes. "Yo, you know I don't like goats!" Coffee scolds, but his voice is laced with laughter. We all share a knowing look. Even in the midst of our chaotic new life, our love and unity as a family remain unshakable. "Kwabena, where should we put this box?" I ask, holding up the one labeled kitchen. My husband, now buried beneath a mountain of luggage, looks up and points toward the door. "Anywhere inside, my love," he replies, his accent thick and musical. "We'll sort it out later." "All right, Team Adom, let's get this done!" Ama cheers, her nurturing spirit encouraging us to work together despite our exhaustion. As we continue our chaotic dance of unloading and settling into our new home, I can't help but feel grateful for the laughter and love that fill the air. Our new city may be unfamiliar and daunting, but with Kwabena, Ama, Kofi, Akosia, and Yaw by my side, I know we can face any challenge head on. And if we're lucky, we might just make a few new friends along the way. Mastari. As I watch the children play, I can't help but marvel at their boundless energy. Kofi and Akosia are in the corner, laughing as they stage a dramatic battle between their toy soldiers and stuffed animals, while Yaw, our youngest, proudly displays his latest creation, a tower of colorful blocks that teeters precariously with every additional piece. "Kwabena, look at what the children have built!" I exclaim, tapping my husband on the shoulder. He chuckles and shakes his head, clearly impressed by their handiwork. "Indeed, Ama, they never cease to amaze me," he replies, eyes twinkling with pride. Just as we share a knowing smile, something truly extraordinary happens. "Mom, Dad, look!" Akosia squeals, pointing to her toys as they suddenly spring to life. The room erupts into chaos as stuffed animals dance around, toy soldiers march in formation, and even the furniture seems to rearrange itself as if possessed by some unseen force. "Yo, did you do this?" Coffee asks, both amazed and slightly terrified by the sudden turn of events. Yaw shrugs, his innocent eyes wide with wonder. "I just imagined it, big brother. I didn't know it would really happen." Peering through the curtains of the neighboring houses, Mrs. Gladys Pembleton, Mr. Harold Finch and Miss Clara Bell watch with wide eyes as chaos reigns in our home. Their faces display a blend of astonishment, amusement, and disbelief at the spectacle unfolding right next door. Mrs. Pembleton, an elderly woman with short, curly gray hair, clutches her pearls and whispers animatedly to Mr. Finch, a middle-aged man with a mustache and furrowed brow. They exchange worried glances, clearly unsure of how to process the spectacle before them. "Harold, do you think the Adoms are practicing some sort of witchcraft?" Mrs. Pembleton asks, her voice barely audible through our window. "Nonsense, Gladys," Mr. Finch replies gruffly. "There must be a logical explanation for all this." Meanwhile, Miss Bell, a young woman with long, flowing hair, watches us with wide-eyed fascination. She seems almost enchanted by the chaos, leaning closer to her window as if drawn to our unconventional household. "Mom, look! The elephant is dancing!" Yaw exclaims as his stuffed toy begins to twirl gracefully in mid-air. I can't help but chuckle at the absurdity of it all, even as I worry about what our neighbors must think of us. "Coffee, Akosia, Yaw, let's try to calm things down," I say, attempting to regain control of the situation. As we work together to rein in the mayhem, I glance back at our nosy neighbors and offer them a sheepish grin. "Sorry for the disturbance," I mouth, knowing full well that our unique family has just given them something truly unforgettable to gossip about. "Nsafa! Kwabana!" Amma calls out, her hands on her hips, a look of exasperation on her beautiful face. "Talk to the neighbors before they think we are cursed with evil spirits or something." "Ah, Amma, don't worry," I reply, trying to muster up some confidence. "I go talk them now. Chal, you better do faster," she says, waving me off as she continues cleaning up the chaos caused by our children's unfettered imaginations. As I step outside, I see Mrs. Pembleton, Mr. Finch, and Miss Bell huddled together near the fence, their eyes still wide with shock. They seem unsure of what to make of our family's antics, but I can tell they're eager for an explanation. "Good day, neighbors," I greet them, attempting a friendly smile. My limited English stumbles over my African accent, creating a mix of confusion and curiosity on their faces. "Hello there, Mr. Adom?" Mrs. Pembleton ventures cautiously, clutching her pearls tightly. "We were just wondering about the commotion in your home." "Ah, no be witchcraft though," I assure them quickly, not wanting them to jump to any wild conclusions. "Na small wahala way happen inside." "Small wahala," Mr. Finch repeats, his eyebrows raised in confusion. Yes, small problem," I clarify, rubbing the back of my neck nervously. "My kids, them got plenty imagination. They cause, tends to fly around room." "Your children have magical powers?" Miss Bell asks, unable to hide her fascination. "Chai, no magic, no power, nothing like that," I exclaim, flustered. "Just strong mind, eh?" "Right," Mrs. Pembleton says, her face a mix of disbelief and amusement. "Please, don't vex for us," Amma interjects, joining me outside. "We go fit control 'em. It no go happens again." "Vex?" Miss Bell whispers to Mr. Finch, who just shrugs in response. "Ah, she means don't be angry," I explain, chuckling at our linguistic barriers. "We promise it not go disturb you again." "Very well then," Mrs. Pembleton responds, still looking skeptical but somewhat appeased. "Just please, do try to keep things under control." Thank you, Amma says, smiling warmly at our neighbors as we turn to head back inside. "We appreciate your understanding." "Abi, let's go deal with our little magicians," I say, shaking my head in disbelief at the events that have transpired. "Magicians!" Amma laughs. "Gwabena, you are too funny!" As we re-enter our home, ready to tackle the chaos that awaits us, I can't help but feel grateful for this wild, wonderful family of ours. Language barriers, flying toys, and all. Safu. "Kofi! Okosia! Ya!" I call out, stepping into the living room to find toys zipping through the air like birds in flight. My children giggle with delight as they continue to imagine new things into existence, seemingly unaware of the chaos surrounding them. "Children, it is time to stop now," Amma says firmly, her hands on her hips as she surveys the pandemonium. "We must get this place back in order." "Ah, but Mama, we're just having fun," Kofi protests, grinning as he dodges a toy car that whizzes past his head. "Fun?" I ask incredulously, ducking as a toy airplane narrowly misses me. "This now the kind wahala we no need. Come on now, let's work together to put an end to this craziness," Amma says, taking charge. "Kofi, you start by catching those dolls over there. Akosia, gather up the toy cars. And you're responsible for the airplanes." "Okay, Mama," they chorus, their laughter fading as they begin to focus on the task at hand. "Quickly now," I urge, watching nervously as a stuffed elephant floats menacingly close to the window. The last thing we need is for our nosy neighbors to witness more chaos. As my children scurry around the room, gathering up their enchanted toys, I can't help but marvel at the energy and creativity they possess. It's both a blessing and a curse, I suppose, but ultimately, it's what makes them who they are, and I wouldn't change a thing about them. "Look, Papa!" Yaw exclaims, clutching a handful of toy planes triumphantly. "I got them all!" "Good job, Yaw," I say, ruffling his hair affectionately. "Now let's help your brother and sister." Together, we work as a team, chasing down errant toys and restoring order to our living room. It's a chaotic dance of laughter, teamwork, and family, and I can't help but smile as I witness the love that binds us together. "Ah, finally!" Amma sighs with relief as the last toy falls back into its proper place. "We have peace at last!" For a moment, we all simply stand there, catching our breath and surveying the calm that has settled over our home. It feels like a small victory, a chance for us to regroup and reflect on our new surroundings. "Thank you, my children," I say, pulling them close for a group hug. "You've done well today, and remember, no matter what happens, we're in this together, as a family." "Always, Papa," they respond in unison, their voices filled with warmth and love. "Good," I say, releasing them from my embrace. "Now, let's go make some dinner. We'll need our strength for whatever adventures await us next in this new city." Mustari. While Amma starts preparing dinner in the kitchen, I can see the children huddled together in the living room, whispering and giggling. The momentary peace we had just enjoyed now seems like a distant memory as their eyes light up with mischief and wonder. "Look, Papa!" Coffee exclaims, pointing to the corner of the room where a miniature parade of animals, toy elephants, lions, zebras, and more, begin to march on tiny legs, trumpeting and roaring. "We made a parade!" "Ah, my imaginative little ones!" I laugh, shaking my head at their innocence and lack of control over their powers. "But please, let's not cause any more chaos for today!" While we are enchanted by the animal parade, our nosy neighbors have their faces pressed against their windows, watching the spectacle unfold. Mrs. Pembleton, Mr. Finch, and Miss Bell exchange puzzled glances as they try to comprehend the unusual occurrences within our home. "Would you look at that?" Mrs. Pembleton exclaims, adjusting her glasses. "Those Adom children have made their toys come alive." "Indeed," Mr. Finch grumbles, stroking his mustache. "Very peculiar, if you ask me. I've never seen anything like it." Miss Bell watches the march of animals with wide-eyed fascination. "It's extraordinary," she breathes. "I wonder how they do it." "Perhaps it's some sort of African magic," Mrs. Pembleton suggests, her curiosity piqued. "Or maybe it's just a trick," Mr. Finch counters skeptically. "I'm sure there's a logical explanation." "Whatever it is," Miss Bell says softly, "it's truly amazing." Back in our living room, the parade continues, each toy animal moving in sync with its fellow creatures. Our laughter fills the air, a beautiful medley of joy and togetherness. Yet, deep down, I know we must find a way to control these powers before they create even more chaos in our new home. "All right, my children," I say, clapping my hands together. "It's time to put an end to this parade and join your mother for dinner." "Okay, Papa," they sigh, reluctantly waving goodbye to their toy animals as they gradually come to a halt. "Remember," I remind them gently, "but for now, let us enjoy this simple moment, united by love and laughter." As we sit down to eat, I can't help but feel grateful for the warmth and unity that holds our family together, even amidst the chaos and curiosity of our peculiar powers and nosy neighbors. Nsafa! As we sit down to eat, there's a sudden knock on our front door. Amma and I exchange glances, hesitating for a moment before I rise from the table and make my way to the entrance. "Hello!" I greet, opening the door to find Mrs. Pembleton, Mr. Finch, and Miss Bell standing on our doorstep with wide-eyed expressions of curiosity. Good evening," I stammer nervously, aware that they must have seen the chaos unfolding in our living room earlier. Amma quickly joins me at the door, offering a warm smile to our unexpected guests. "Good evening, neighbors," she exclaims, her broken English tinged with our African dialect. "What brings you here tonight?" Well, you see," Mrs. Pembleton begins, fumbling for words. "We couldn't help but notice some, unusual activity going on in your home." "Indeed," Mr. Finch adds gruffly. "It's not every day you see a parade of animals marching through someone's living room." "Please, come inside," I gesture, hoping we can somehow explain the situation. As our neighbors enter, Amma and I try our best to describe our children's imaginative powers using a mix of broken English, African dialect, and exaggerated gestures. "See, our children, they have these gift," I say, miming a burst of magic emanating from my hands. "Gift? What sort of gift?" Mr. Finch asks skeptically. "Animals, toys, they come alive, like magic," Amma exclaims, using her hands to mimic the movements of a flying toy. "Amazing," Miss Bell breathes, her eyes sparkling with wonder. "Hard to believe," Mr. Finch grumbles, still unconvinced. "Wait, you'll see," I assure them, beckoning for the children to join us. As Kofi, Akosia, and Ya stand before our visitors, they exchange knowing glances before suddenly imagining a whirlwind of toys swirling around the room. Dolls dancing, toy soldiers marching, and airplanes soaring through the air. "See? Magic!" Amma exclaims triumphantly. Our neighbors stand in awe, unable to deny the reality of our children's imaginative powers. The room is filled with laughter and amazement as the toys perform their incredible dance. But just as we start to feel a sense of connection with our new community, something shifts. The whirlwind of toys begins to spin faster and faster, growing more intense by the second. Our laughter turns to gasps of shock as we struggle to maintain our balance amid the escalating chaos. The once joyful performance has transformed into an uncontrollable tempest, leaving the Adom family and our nosy neighbors in awe and fear of our children's extraordinary powers. "Make it stop!" Mrs. Pembleton cries out, her eyes wide with terror. "Children, please!" I implore, my voice nearly drowned out by the howling wind. But as the room spins faster and faster, and darkness envelops our vision, it seems our desperate pleas are falling on deaf ears. Safu. As the chaos in our living room reaches dizzying heights, Mr. Finch raises his voice above the roaring wind. "This is too much!" he shouts, pointing an accusing finger at my children. "Your kids have to learn to control their whatever this is!" "Mr. Finch," I say, attempting diplomacy, "we are new here, and we will try our best to manage the situation." My heart races as I glance around, trying to find a way to calm the storm of toys. "Manage it? This is madness!" Mrs. Pembleton exclaims, clutching her chest dramatically. "Everyone, please!" Amma pleads, her eyes filled with worry. In that moment, Miss Clara Bell steps forward with a surprisingly steady gaze. "I think I can help," she says, her determination cutting through the noise. "Help? How?" I ask, genuinely curious. "Let's all hold hands and focus on making this stop," she suggests, her voice barely audible over the din. At first, I'm skeptical, but considering the alternatives, I give in. We form a chain, holding hands with our neighbors as the wind whips around us. I close my eyes, feeling Alma's warm hand in mine on one side and Miss Bell's on the other. "Think of something peaceful," Miss Bell instructs, her voice low and soothing. "Like a gentle breeze," I suggest, picturing it in my mind. "Or waves lapping at the shore," Alma adds, her grip tightening. "Or birds singing in the trees," chimes in Miss Bell, her soft voice full of hope. Slowly, the room begins to settle. the whirlwind of toys loses its intensity, and we all breathe a collective sigh of relief as the last toy soldier gently floats to the ground. "Thank you, Clara," I say, grateful for her assistance. "You've been a true friend today." "Of course," she replies, blushing slightly. "Neighbors should help each other after all." Mr. Finch and Mrs. Pembleton exchange glances, still somewhat wary but seemingly more open to the idea of accepting our family and our unique circumstances. "Perhaps," Mr. Finch grumbles, "we can find a way to work together and deal with this magic." "Agreed," I nod, feeling a small sense of unity forming between us. "Together, we will navigate through these challenges and learn to harness the power of imagination. Here's to new beginnings," Amma declares, raising her hand in a triumphant gesture. And as our neighbors echo her sentiment, I can't help but feel that perhaps, despite the chaos, we have found a place where we belong, where our love for one another can bridge the gap between cultures and create a community built on mutual understanding and respect. Mstari. In a whirlwind of laughter and hand gestures, the Adom family and our new neighbors stand in the midst of the chaos, attempting to communicate. Amma tries her best to explain what just happened, but her limited English vocabulary results in an amusing mix of broken words and sweet expressions. "Shall, toys not dance," she exclaims, waving her hands like a conductor directing an orchestra. "Wait, so your children made the toys dance?" Miss Clarabelle asks, cocking her head to one side. "Yeah, dance like no man's business," I chime in, trying to assist Amma in communicating the situation. However, my own grasp of the English language is not much better, and my words only serve to confuse our neighbors further. "Like a toy disco?" Mr. Harold Finch suggests, raising an eyebrow skeptically. "Or perhaps a wild toy party," Mrs. Gladys Pembleton adds, trying to suppress a chuckle at the absurdity of it all. Amma throws her hands up in the air, her face a mixture of frustration and amusement. No, them use mind power. Telekinesis," Coffee interjects, demonstrating his impressive vocabulary. "They imagined it and then it really happened. What now?" Yaw blurts out, eyes wide with curiosity. Akosia giggles and pats him on the head, appreciating her younger brother's enthusiasm for learning new things, even amidst the confusion. "Mind control over objects," Miss Bell explains gently, smiling at Yaw. "It's a very rare ability." "Rare and powerful," I emphasize, my chest swelling with pride for my extraordinary children. "But we learn to control it, make better use for community." "Indeed," Mrs. Pembleton says, still looking slightly wary. "We wouldn't want any more incidents." "Of course not," I assure her, sensing her concern. "We work together, learn from each other." "Sounds like a plan," Mr. Finch grumbles, his hands on his hips, almost as if he's agreeing to some sort of unwritten contract. "Good, we start by teaching you Sui, then we understand better," Amma declares excitedly, clapping her hands. "Great idea, dear," I say, beaming with pride at my wife's resourcefulness. "Wait, what?" Mr. Finch exclaims, looking slightly panicked at the prospect of learning a new language. "Relax, Harold," Mrs. Pembleton says with a chuckle. "It'll be good for us to expand our horizons a bit." "Agreed," Miss Bell chimes in cheerfully. "Besides, it could be fun." "Fun? Really?" Mr. Finch mutters under his breath, but nevertheless, he nods in agreement. "All right then," I announce, clapping my hands together. "Let the language lessons begin." As we dive into an ocean of laughter and linguistic miscommunication, I can't help but feel a deep sense of joy. Despite the barriers that separate us, love and understanding have brought our families together, creating a bond that transcends borders and cultures.
From the heart of the unknown author, Rodney Hamright, comes the Adom series, Welcome to the Chaos. In the chaos, you will meet a lively and loving family from Africa who have recently moved to a new city in the US. The parents Kwabena and Amma are struggling to keep control of their 3 imaginative children. The children's powers are unusual. Whatever they imagine comes to life. This leads to mayhem and hilarity in the Adom household on a daily basis. Get your copy today at Amazon.com, or download at Audible and iTunes, or listen on Apple Podcast.